Hi, my name is Sky. I'm a vampire VTuber, and today we're reacting to the Lockpicking Lawyer. I do not know anything about that guy or his videos. All I know is that my uncle really loves his stuff, so I'm excited. Alright, let's get into it.
This is the Lockpicking Lawyer, and the video you're about to watch is the culmination of a series of events that started about 6 months ago. That's when Shane at the excellent YouTube channel Stuff Made Here posted a video build of an unpickable lock. That video, which I will link below, also challenged me to open it.
Unpickable lock?
I obviously accepted because the lock is here, but Shane wanted to improve his design first. And by improve, he seems to have meant completely redesigned from the ground up, because what I received was the original lock and a second lock which bore no internal resemblance to the first. And I have to say, I had a great time with these because both mechanisms are, to the best of my knowledge, completely original and, in my opinion, quite good. Fortunately for me, though, Shane doesn't have a lot of experience with lock defeat methods, so there were a few minor oversights that I was able to exploit.
I can tell already that the locks both have a lot of scratches, so that probably means it took a lot of effort to actually crack them open, but I don't know. And I'm also noticing that the left one, where the key is supposed to go, whatever tool you use to open them, that looks a bit odd. How is a key supposed to fit in this tiny hole?
However, each of the issues I found can be fixed with very little effort, which would result in formidable lock designs. Before we pick these, I want to explain what I'm going to do so my actions don't look too cryptic. That will require some reference to the internals, but if you want a detailed look at what's inside, you need to check out the Stuff Made Here YouTube channel, and all the appropriate links are below.
I will not do that.
The first lock, this one, looks something like this on the inside. When you insert the key, the pins in contact with the key will lift these upper pins that are shown in gold. Those pins then lock into place and rotate until they're in contact with this fin. There are gates in the fin, and only if these upper pins are in the correct position will they pass through. Notably, however, when that test phase occurs, when those upper pins encounter the fins, they are no longer in contact with the key pins. That's what makes this unpickable in theory. What I'm going to do is lift all of the upper pins as far as...
I'm going to pretend I totally understood everything that you said. I mean, I kind of understood, right? Like the key pins are not touching the yellow thingies, and if they're not touching the yellow thingies, then that means the lock can't be picked, technically.
They will go, lock them in place, rotate them until they're in contact with the fin, and then drop them down until they fall into their gates. It usually takes a few attempts for it to work, but the method seems to be reliable.
Okay.
The second lock is even more complex than the first.
Oh my god.
It actually has two cores attached with an internal connecting rod. If we look at the back, we can see the bottom core, the top core, and a connecting rod. The shear line that matters is the one on the upper core, which we can't access to tension. It's behind this area of the lock. By the time that upper core actually turns, the bottom core is offset by about 45 degrees, which means you can't move the pins. That's why this lock is, at least in theory, unpickable.
I did not understand anything of that. No, I'm not even gonna pretend I understood it. I did not understand anything.
Put differently, when you can access the pins, you can't tension the lock, and when you can tension it, you can't access the pins. I'm going to try to get around that by inserting a thin piece of metal between the door and the lock housing. Then slide it up until we're over the top of that upper core, and then pull down, which should tension the upper core. Once that happens, I should be able to pick this as I would a normal lock.
All right.
There are two other potential vulnerabilities. The first arises from a combination of this core rotating 45 degrees in either direction until it seizes up, and the tailpiece being misclocked by about 45 degrees. When we pick, you'll see why that makes a difference, but I think you'll get a chuckle when you see how they interact. The second vulnerability is decoding.
All right, I'm sorry for that.
And we can do that because all of these upper driver pins are the same length. A tool can be fashioned to lift all the pin stacks to the stopping point, fully compressing the springs. That's an indirect way of measuring the key pins, which would allow us to cut a key. I did not create that tool because I had another way to open this, but that's something that used to be common before manufacturers started varying these lengths. Okay, I have been talking for too long. The jig that Shane sent me to pick these in is way too big to fit on my desk, so we are going to mount these up, head down to the garage, and try to open them. Okay, we are down in the garage. Both locks are mounted in this mock door, and the frame is secured to my workbench. We're going to start with the newer of the two locks and discuss a vulnerability enabled by the fact that this core will...
I can see a lot of dads. I don't know who watches him, but I can see a lot of dads or people who are interested in building stuff watching him. I feel like that would be his core audience. Just dads that like repairing stuff and maybe picking locks in their free time.
Turn about 45 degrees before it seizes. That creates an issue as the lock interacts with the deadbolt.
Okay.
Now, under normal circumstances, a deadbolt that is fully extended can't be pushed back into the door. However, if we turn this core as far as it will go, it's just enough to disengage the anti-retraction mechanism. That's something we can certainly take advantage of while the door is locked. All we need to do that is something that will turn the core and something pointy like the tip of my pocket knife. So, I'm going to turn this as far as it will.
We're just going to put the tip in.
Bruh.
All right. Got that.
Will go, then use the point of the knife to walk the bolt back.
Damn, that worked.
Might as well let them know we're here. Next, we are going to attempt
the barking
a picking
sound
attack,
effect.
though certainly not a traditional one. We discussed it upstairs, but what I'm going to do is attempt to slip this between the door and the housing so we can tension the upper core. Pushing this in will do damage to the door. However, I don't think it'll be a lot of damage, and I don't think it'll be very noticeable because it'll be on the bottom. However, I will show you the damage after we're done. The hard part will be getting this into position, so let's do that now.
Do it. Just do it.
I am pushing the tool against the door so it doesn't deform.
Oh, wait, what is that going to do? Oh, I heard a click.
Okay,
is that a good
I might
sign?
have it, but the only way to be sure is to pull on these pliers and see if the pins are binding. There we go. Click out of 1. Little click on 2. Nothing on 3. Little click on 4. Little click on 5. 1, 2. Another click on 3. Click on 4. Nothing on 5.
Come on.
I don't feel anything else. Let's see if we have this open.
I'm sorry, but the innuendos. I don't know if I'm the only one who has a perverted mind, but I don't feel anything. Let's put the tip in. Come on now. Come on now. I can't be the only one. I guess that worked.
Now let's work on the older lock. Once again, I discussed the theory of what we're going to be doing while we were upstairs. However, it's a little bit harder in practice. First, we need to lock it.
All right. Then
Okay, I'm going to use this pick to lift all the pins to their highest position. And when I release these, I'm going to be tapping on the housing with this mallet. It allows for a little bit more control as the pins come down, and it increases the chances of success from about 1 in every 10 times to 1 in every 2 or 3.
Okay.
I think we've got it.
Oh, it's stuck? No, it's open!
Okay, folks, let's bring all this stuff back upstairs.
Where was this guy when I needed help to unlock the really hard locks on Fallout? Where was this guy? I could have used his help back then.
I will show you the damage underneath, and we will sum everything up. Okay, folks, we are back upstairs, and I'm going to briefly address how to fix each of the exploits I demonstrated, but first, let's take a look at the damage to the door. It's certainly noticeable once the lock is removed, though much of the damage is covered by the lock.
That's not
and
a
the part
lot.
that isn't is probably obscured because it's underneath the bulky housing. Frankly, even if I saw that, I'd probably attribute it to sloppy installation and not to an attack.
True.
While we're looking at the door, note that Shane welded both of the hinge pins, probably to stop me from popping the pins and declaring victory, and I've got to say he did the right thing because I definitely would have done that. Moving on to the locks, the issue with the first lock can be fixed easily by decreasing the angle of the fins so there's no slope for them to rest on. Frankly, a reverse rake would probably be advisable. With the second lock, the first exploit can be fixed with a slight modification to this moving tailpiece, reclocking that cutout by about 45 degrees. There are about a dozen ways to fix the picking exploit and deny access to the back of the lock, but when I told Shane about it, he precision machined a back cover, which is probably the most expensive solution, but certainly one that works. So, I hope you all enjoyed this. Shane, excellent work on these locks, and thank you so much for sending them my way. To everyone else, that's all I have for you today.
I actually want to see him try and pick those locks now with the exploits fixed. If that's even possible. I wonder if that's even possible. Alright, good stuff. Next video. This one's called Getting My Ex-Girlfriend's Back Door. April Fool's video. Now, you probably called me a pervert for seeing innuendos everywhere in the previous video, but who is the pervert now, huh? Alright, let's see what this is about.
This is the Lockpicking Lawyer, and on this channel I've demonstrated how to penetrate some of the most secure...
Whoa, what? Okay, replay. You demonstrate what?
This is the Lockpicking Lawyer, and on this channel I've demonstrated how to penetrate some of the most secure equipment out there, usually using some very simple tools. But it's almost always done right here on my desk. It's a controlled environment that might not be equivalent to field conditions. So today, I'm taking you on the road with me. You see, I just got a call from my ex-girlfriend who's having a problem. Her new boyfriend is apparently having trouble getting in her back door. It's really tight, and she told him to stop trying because all he was doing was pushing really hard, and she was afraid something would break. But she remembered that when we were dating, I used to go in through her back door all the time.
Oh yeah,
this is a picture of her back door. She just sent it to me, and I don't see any reason why this should be a problem. Frankly, it looks looser than it was back when we were dating. So, while her boyfriend's...
If we for 1 second forget about all the innuendos, why would the boyfriend want to get in for the back door? Why can't he just go through the front door? Right? I mean, if it's a boyfriend, it's not like he should be constantly breaking into our house, right? I don't know.
At work, she asked me to come over and see if I could help loosen things up. I, of course, agreed, so long as I could get it on video and share it on this channel. So
Okay.
let's drive over and see if we can get in our back door without breaking anything. Okay, folks, here we are, and I have to say that my ex-girlfriend's back door is far dirtier than it ever used to be back when we were dating. It seems to have been neglected pretty badly, but I'm actually glad to find it this way. So you can see why I always keep baby wipes handy whenever I do anything like this. So let's get one out and wipe all of this brown residue away.
Let's do it. All right. Good as new, almost.
Okay, this is pretty dirty. It might be a 2-wipe job.
All right, is it clean now?
Okay, now that we have the outside just a little bit cleaner, it's time to flush out the inside as well. And because we need to lubricate this anyway, I'm going to flush out the main opening with a good bit of lube. We just need to be sure to keep a towel underneath that opening so we don't make a mess. It makes a lot of sense to be generous with that lubricant. Back doors tend to be neglected, so you can't have too much.
I mean, he's not wrong. He's not wrong.
Okay, we are almost ready, but before I go any further, I need to put on some rubber for my own protection.
Okay. All right, protection is important. Remember, everyone, protection is really important. Stay protected out there, all right? Especially when getting into your ex-girlfriend's back door. You never know what's inside.
Now, depending on various factors, I should note that the opening could be in an awkward position. And all I have to say about that is deal with it. It's not uncommon, especially when you're going in through the back door.
Skill issue.
I can't just shove in my tool. I need to be very gentle and wiggle things into position if I'm going to stand any chance of getting in.
All right. He's going in. Look at that.
I think
Instantly.
we're there. All it needs now is a firm shove, and we are in. Now you
You know, not every man can go through his ex-girlfriend's back door as smoothly as he did. Respect for that. Respect.
need to understand that just because I got in her back door doesn't mean that her boyfriend will be able to as well. So I need to spend some time working it in and loosening it up. But I'm going to do that off camera, so that's all I have for you today. If you do have any questions or comments about this, please put them below. If you like this video and would like to see more like it, please subscribe.
Probably better
Have a great April 1st.
that you do it off camera. I don't want to get demonetized. Let's do one last video. This one is called Locksmith Says My Videos Are BS. Loses $75. Maybe. Ooh.
This is the Lockpicking Lawyer, and I just
the volume is too low again. Hold up. Is that I think my YouTube is messing with me.
This is the Lockpicking Lawyer, and I just received a written challenge in the mail that I can't do justice without sharing in its entirety. It reads, Dear Lockpicking Lawyer, I'm throwing down the gauntlet. I recently lost the key to my kryptonite bike lock/chain while far from home. I called a locksmith to open it. When he arrived, I asked if he could pick the lock since I have another key at home and didn't want the lock destroyed. He said my lock couldn't be picked, but when I said I had seen it done on YouTube, I got a strong reaction.
Kryptonite bike lock/chain? Who is that? Is that Lex Luthor? Hello? Why does he have kryptonite?
He was sick and tired of people watching fake lockpicking videos and expecting him to magically open locks in 2 seconds. When I asked if he had seen the Lockpicking Lawyer, he roughly dropped his tool bag and told me you're the worst offender and your videos are complete BS. After talking about lockpicking videos for a few minutes, he told me he was willing to put his money where his mouth is. Here is the challenge to you. The locksmith said I could send you the remains of my bike lock in a sealed package, and if you could open the package on video and pick the lock faster than he could open it with a grinder, he would refund the $75 he charged me for the job. We timed him cutting my lock. It took 2 minutes and 14 seconds. Are you up for the challenge? Will you defend your name? I'll be watching your channel and hoping. Kindest regards, Malcolm M. Okay, we'll take a look at the lock in just a moment, but before I do that, I want to say a few words about locksmiths and expectations. Malcolm says there's a kryptonite lock in here, which probably means a disk detainer core. While I'm sure there are some locksmiths out.
Kryptonite lock is actually a thing. It has nothing to do with Superman or Lex Luthor. All right. Understood.
There who could pick it open, probably quite quickly, the skills and tools required to open disk detainer cores are generally not part of the average American locksmith's repertoire. So, I certainly wouldn't fault a locksmith for being unable to pick a kryptonite bike lock. That said, let's open up the package and see if we can pick the lock.
Okay.
Okay, this certainly is a kryptonite lock. It's one of their evolutions. And it looks like it has the old version of disk detainer core. So let me get my disk detainer pick. And we will use a timer to keep track of things. Okay, let's see how quickly we can get this open.
All right, let's go. Is that the pins? What is that? The clicks I'm hearing.
28 seconds. Okay.
Oh my god, that's a huge difference. 28 seconds compared to 2 minutes and 40 seconds that the other guy had, the locksmith. That's really impressive.
Okay, folks, as you saw, beating 2 minutes and 14 seconds did not pose a significant challenge. In fact, I suspect it's far less of a challenge than Malcolm will have trying to get his money back from the locksmith. In any case, that's all I have for you today.
True.
If you do have any questions or comments about this, please put them below. If you like this video and would like to see more like it, please subscribe.
I would like to see more.
As always, have a nice day.
Should we react to more Lockpicking Lawyer? I think that would be fun. Anyways, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. That would make my day. Thank you so much for the support, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!